I'm in the woods on the foothills of Cadair at the moment. They've done a lot of clearing here. It used to be all evergreen listed, evergreen, pine and all that. It's a bit stumbly going, it's a bit of devastation I have to say, but you get amazing trees like that. Look at that, it's incredible. Anyway, I'm going up onto a ridge. Last time I was here, last year, I was still in tree. So I'm going to go up, see what state that is, and see what the views are now. Hopefully, I will apologise in advance for any noise of wind, because it does get quite windy sometimes, and me stumbling around in all this undergrowth. So as I was saying, this used to be all evergreen, pine and all that. And, oh, that's some balance there. They've done mass clearing. And it's great because it brings out features which you never knew were there. For instance, that tree. And also, I can balance on this log, an old dwelling. Yeah. Proper old house, that is. Makes you wonder what this landscape's seen in its time, and will do, obviously, still. And one of the nice things is, they've started clearing this, well, they've been doing it sporadically for quite a while now. My brother remembers when some other slopes, which are now covered in birch, were done about 10 years ago. Anyway, now they're doing all this, and it's great. There's stuff up on that rocky ridge. Hang on, there. There's that rock up across there. That very rock there. I sat on that about 2 years ago. I was watching the sunset over that way, mountains, and I could hear this little crunching and scrabbling and noise getting closer and closer. And then the biggest, this beautiful dog fox I'd ever seen came out just below my feet, had a sniff around, looked at me, looked around and then wandered off. But it was a lovely experience. Anyway, as I was saying, doing a lot of clearing, and you can already see some of the new growth starting. Now obviously the wood's been opened up, and some of the trees, the seedlings of the broadleaf, can start to come up. And I'm only 36, and it's nice to think that as long as I keep myself fit enough, I could still be coming up here easily in 40 odd years. And 40 years is enough to see a nice bit of woodland regeneration, which is what this place needs. And oh, I can see our cottage down there. But I'm going up here. And it'll be really nice when this is all back to broadleaf, rather than the dark forest that pine always are. And the nice thing is, as they've been clearing, you can see they've left all the broadleaf trees that were here, or quite a few of them anyway, so that they can start to create a habitat again. And there's some incredible bits of old dead trees around, which you can see were obviously probably here before the pine started, and then the pine just outcompeted them. And at one time I used to use these for navigation through the forests. I'd walk around, and the different skeletal remains of the trees, you'd come across them and you'd be like, oh yes, I know that tree. And now quite a few of them have fallen down. I'll probably come out with a saw later and try and get some of the wood for a bit of carving. It's good solid wood, and I'm guessing most of these are probably oak. But it's also nice because the that wobbly tree back there, that one right there, that I first showed you, you look at it and you can see probably what height it was up to when the pine first started growing, and then it's got this twist, and then the branches just go straight up as they obviously had to compete with all the pine around. This is fine. Not quite sure what I'm treading on at the moment. So it certainly gave it its own character, this woodland. But the one thing I do miss, and I say I'm not exactly a pine forest fan, but the one thing I really do miss is there used to be some stunningly beautiful glades. You'd walk through all this dark forest for ages, and then suddenly it would just open up and it would be green, mossy and ferny, and it's so lush. You'd have maybe a couple of young broadleaf trees. Oh, I need to redo my shoelace up now. And yeah, it was a wonderful little thing to come across. Whereas, as you can see, the glades are kind of gone, but you do get views of the mountain, which is quite nice. So I'm going to head up there now, have a look, and see what's new. Last time I was here, all this bit was wooded, and they've taken all that down now. This bit was done, and I was probably on the edge. And look at that tree bends. What's that doing? I tell you that they've come through. There's no precision. There's no precision forestry gone on here. They've literally just gone through and just we'll take those down. And it honestly, it's like a monster's been across. You can see the trees behind me there. Those ones, obviously just been pushed over, and you can see quite high up in some of the trees. Obviously where a big piece of machinery's gone past. There's massive tracks everywhere, and it's an interesting place to explore. Let me just show you first. Oh, one last little bit. I don't know how well I'll be able to pick this out, but just right. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. I don't know if I can see it. No. Anyway, just down there somewhere, there's a little cottage, and that's where I've been staying. And it's interesting, that used to be sort of tucked away little secluded cottage, and now you get there, they've taken all the forest down, and it's just like, we're here. But that's what makes a living landscape so interesting. It's always changing, and it's always a joy to discover something new. And as I say, when this all comes up as Broadleaf, which will probably be mostly birch, I guess, first. That's a bit of a faster one. And then the beech will take over. Oh yeah, you see the odd rowan seedlings around as well. They're fairly quite quick. And beech, oak. There seems to be the dominant broadleaf species up here. It'd be a really interesting place to see this develop and all the old wood rot down. Because as far as I can tell, they're clearing to a certain amount, but a lot of the brash that's come down, I know where I am. A lot of the brash that's come down, they're just leaving to rot down, I guess. Anyway, that's where I am at the moment. I've got to tie my shoelace up now. Have a little explore, and I'm sure there'll be more to be said at some point. I'll show you some more scenery a bit later as well. But for now, I'll just have a bit of a potter.